Hello everybody, we are at one of the finest tennis clubs in the world. It's got a rich and beautiful history. Look it up online, St George's Hill Lawn Tennis Club. I'm a member and so is the person I'm talking to this afternoon, the British number 3, Harriet Dart. Hello Harriet.
Hello.
Harriet, it's absolutely lovely to see you. Look, we're on the indoor courts at St George's Hill, which is your club and mine. How depressing is this on a scale of 1 to 10 that we're just talking instead of actually playing? Are you missing the game?
Yeah, definitely. I'm just so fortunate to be able to still be able to practice and train at the National Tennis Centre. Yeah. Of course, I'd love to be able to practice here as well, but hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah. How much are you practicing at the moment? How many hours a day? Normal?
Not so much at the moment because I'm rehabbing my elbow. So yeah.
What's the matter with your elbow?
I've had a lot of problems since about September, October time. I had 2 stress reactions in it, so then I was rehabbing it into pre-season, and then I had a few other different flare-ups, and then I've had an injection since then, and yeah, at the moment it's just about trying to build it up slowly and seeing how it reacts.
How long was the needle when you had the injection?
I preferred not to look.
Did you not?
No,
did you not look at needles?
I'm terrified of needles. So,
oh, yeah.
and yeah, so I didn't look.
You didn't. You just looked away. Is it over yet? Well, I'm sorry about that. So, is it holding up okay now?
Yeah, so far it's so good. Yeah, I'm just hoping to be pain-free hopefully by March and back competing, okay. If travel allows us to. Yeah. To happen.
Now, how was Dubai? You've just played the qualifying at the Australian Open. I mean, you go all the way there for the qualifying for a tournament which is thousands of miles, sort of further around the globe. Kind of a weird situation. Tell people about, what it is to be on tour and in that situation. Because qualifying for slams, which you're good at, by the way, because you have qualified, I think, 3 times. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a real measure of a professional tennis player that other pro tennis players look at. What was this qualifying like?
Yeah, it was definitely different. Again, I think everyone, well, I can only speak for myself, but I think everyone was incredibly grateful to kind of be there and have the opportunity to play, regardless whether, everyone would have much preferred to be in Melbourne. However, in Dubai, they did an amazing job. We were all confined to a very, small, tight bubble with security everywhere, so you really were restricted in a lot of ways. However, they were just trying to do everything they could to kind of keep us safe. So, that was different. It was very different, I must say. But again, I was just kind of happy to be able to, get the chance to compete and kind of get back out there. Albeit it didn't go the way I kind of wanted it to go. Conditions were very different there, I'd say, to Melbourne. And I definitely think there were some results that were strange in a sense. However, yeah, just really happy to kind of be back out there and was, happy to be on the road again.
Was it hotel or court? Hotel, court.
Yes.
I mean, is there any socializing? I mean, because we're looking at the future here as well, at least the immediate future. So when you go to a place, what are you expecting, with COVID around? Is it literally you have to stay in your hotel at night and food is delivered in these places? I mean, have you any idea what's ahead?
I think We've had some experience, say, in the last few months, especially with some tournaments that I have competed in. So it has become a bit more normal, so it wasn't so much of a shock to kind of be there. Dubai was slightly different in terms of that the hotel and the courts was all on site, if you know what I mean. It was all part of one, so you didn't physically leave. It was almost like there's like a bit of a tunnel almost from the courts to the hotel.
So weird.
It's all within one, because it's a complex. It's where the Dubai duty-free gets played, and it's an amazing venue. But yeah, you are very restricted.
And what about your mates? What about having a laugh? Is there such a thing as a player lounge anymore, for instance? Is there such a thing as a locker room sort of banter? Is there friendships that you can maintain? It's not easy now.
It's not easy, that's for sure. But again, I think it's just important to remember that we're getting this chance to be able to compete and also to travel, because most people at the moment are just staying home, and we have the chance to be able to still make a living, and I think that's what most people are very grateful for. I think in Dubai it was different because you were very much encouraged to, if you were staying at the hotel that was on site, because there were 2 official hotels because of the capacity of how many players there were and everything. If you were staying on site, you were encouraged to, shower in your room, stay in your room as much as possible. When you eat food, it's all on site also. So there were separate screens. So, you would just eat within your kind of bubble in terms of, with your coach or your fitness coach or whoever you had with you. Yeah. And that was very much encouraged.
Crazy situation.
Yeah, so it's very different. But very different.
Have you watched any tennis on the telly lately with people, like, repeats, or other sports, in fact? I found myself watching under, the sort of the grey skies that we're enduring today. I don't know whether you've watched sport in the old days. They've run some old Wimbledons, they've run, some bits and bobs that you see around, and you're looking at people watching sport under blue skies. Yeah. I'm just yearning for that at the moment. I don't know how you're feeling about stuff.
Yeah, I watched a bit of the stuff that's happening in Melbourne at the moment with the tennis, and it's amazing to see people. Yeah, I think when we hopefully do things go back to normal, I think it's going to be so strange when we actually can interact with a lot more people.
Yeah. Can you imagine the first time you walk out and there's people there? Aren't you just going to, I just want to hug everybody.
I know.
It's like, where have you been? How have you been?
I said this to my friend the other day. I said, I just can't wait to hug you. Even my grandma on the phone to me, I speak to my grandparents a lot and most days, and my grandma literally really almost broke my heart the other day saying, I just can't wait to be able to hug you.
When was the last time you hugged grandma?
A long time ago. We were trying to figure out when the last time we actually saw her and everything, because all these restrictions, and she's further enough away that you can't go. So I'm not sure.
Is she in her own place?
Yeah, she lives on her own. Okay. So
God, that's so tough.
Yeah, my grandpa is in a home, so she gets to go and see him. Yeah. But they've been vaccinated now, so hopefully, things will start to turn.
So you'll get over your phobia of needles long enough to take the COVID jab.
We'll see.
You're a long way down the list because you're so young.
Yeah, I don't know if it's different for athletes and everything, but I think, I'll be a long way down the list.
Actually, I haven't said, it'll be me a lot sooner than you. I can tell you that. Well, we're all praying to get out of it. I hope Grandma and Grandpa are okay. And your parents are okay as well?
Yeah, they're...
Because I know them both, but I know Susie, your mum, very well. I know where you got your tennis from, and it wasn't your dad. Susie can play the game. When was the first time you beat your mum? And what was her reaction?
That's tough, actually. I don't really remember a specific time that I beat my mum, because a lot of the time she would just play with me and...
Yeah. You didn't play competitive sets?
Not all the time. I think definitely as I got older I wanted to play more and more. But she's helped me so much, and it's really great that I have someone in my family that really understands tennis too, because sometimes it can be hard. As much as my dad is wonderful and great, he doesn't really know loads and loads about tennis.
Just tell him, you don't know anything, Dad.
He kind of learned on the job almost.
Yeah. But
I've played with my mum since I was high, so it's really nice. Even now, we sometimes will play together.
Yeah. She has one of those old-fashioned forehands that
and a slice backhand.
And the slice backhand. She's a crafty creature around the net, and you give her my love. She's absolutely wonderful. Are you when you're travelling at the moment, or when you travel, will you be travelling with your coach? Is that going to be a possibility, going forward? Do you know how it's going to work when things do open up a bit? And in fact, what is your next tournament?
So it really depends on the tournament, because in Dubai you are only allowed to have +1. So usually at a Grand Slam you would be able to have +2, but because of how they were restricted on how many numbers they could bring in to that specific country, we're only allowed +1. So in Dubai I just went with my coach, but on a normal basis I would probably travel with 2 people. Mostly 1, just with my coach, but if I'm able to take, say, my fitness trainer for certain weeks, that's what I do, and other weeks take a physio. So it really depends on the tournament.
So you have a whole team, don't you? You've got a physio, a trainer, a coach.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You're at the centre of a big outfit. That puts some pressure on you. You have to perform. You have to perform then.
Yeah, no.
But you're the boss, right?
Yeah, it's a weird thing, tennis, isn't it? It's like, essentially I'm paying everyone, say my coach and stuff. But I like to think that my coach is very much in charge of me. I think it's better that way.